Hi, this is Chris with Rekkid Talk, CRT, and today I'm going to be showing a bunch of 7-inch singles that I have bought recently at a variety of places. Most of them are actually in my hometown Peddler's Mall antique store. A few others were found in a town a couple hours away. It was the same town where I got some of my cheap finds recently, like the Susie Quattro album. And if you're not into me showing 7-inch singles, you should click off now and ruin the analytics of this video for me. All right, so, before I got stuff in hometown, I got stuff in Vet City. So I went to the Vet City Antique Mall. Now, this will be the second time I went there. I went there a couple years ago. It was before I was making thrifting videos, and there was a booth that had a lot of singles in it, and I got a lot of singles out of that particular booth. And when I went back, that booth basically had the singles I didn't buy before, and their albums I didn't buy before. And I ended up not buying anything because I'd already gotten anything. But I did get a couple things there out of a couple other booths that had just a small amount of stuff. If you remember when I showed my cheesy finds in TC's video, the Linda Ronstadt back in the USA with her on roller skates on 7-inch, and the Style Council, Rob Walker music. I got those there. Also, I got this sort of oddity there. Rocky Anello, We the Fans. On the flip side is A Dream Come True by F. Anello. And the weird thing about this, it's basically kind of country novelty music. I mean, there's nothing special about the music. It's not on Discogs. I couldn't really find much information at all about it on the internet. So it was on Austin Sharp Records. It almost sounds like a guy's name. 2200 West Alameda Avenue, Suite 43, Denver, Colorado. Well, this happens to be sort of a strip mall in a Mexican/Asian neighborhood in Denver. And I Googled 2200 West Alameda Avenue, Suite 43, and it is currently the Savory Vietnam restaurant. So I don't think Austin is still there. I don't think you can get REKKIDS there anymore, but I think you can get a big bowl of pho there. So that was stuff from Vet City. One other thing from Vet City, the record store I didn't like as much. They did have some singles, and I got a few. The one I'll show you here is Tenderness by General Public, IRS label. I didn't get a company sleeve with it, but I'm always a sucker for that 80s stuff on the IRS label. If it's cheap, I will tend to buy it. But now let's get into the stuff that I found in hometown at the Peddler's Mall. Most of what I'll be showing you over the next few minutes are all going to be $1 out of a new booth. And I think I was, if not the first, one of the first people to go through these records. And so I think I've already pillaged what, at least in my mind, is the best stuff from there. And even some of the stuff I got, you're going to question why I bought it. This I actually got from another booth, though. This is one of these booths with a bunch of junk, and then they've got some old ratty records being stored horizontally that they're trying to sell for $5. These are the sort of records that you can't give away. And there are a couple singles there. And one of the singles was this thing right here. D-Lark Records, Lefty Pritchett, Vietnam Rotation Blues. And so that immediately triggered my thought to that this was maybe some sort of conservative counter-protest sort of music. The song on the other side is called Our Children. And so Lefty Pritchett kind of a country western singer, kind of a yodely style. The Our Children, there was a little bit more of that spoken word style. It's nothing awesome, but for $1, median value for this stuff is $20, and currently people are trying to sell it on Discogs in the $40 to $60 range. And so in terms of Discogs value, this is the hit of this particular video. The rest of the stuff I'm going to start going through quicker. There's lots of stuff. You're going to see Booth 911 $1 record. Over and over again. There's a lot of unknown country in this. And so I try to pick up stuff that looks like it's on possibly interesting labels. So we've got the Brooks Brothers Band on Buckboard Records, Hurry On Home, which was a promo. This one here, which was kind of soft country rock. I was hoping it was going to be a little bit harder than this. The Brethren Band on Infinity Limited. I like the infinity sign there. Rocket in My Pocket. And then the flip side's called Mark's Song. It was a little bit sort of like country yacht rock, which is a little bit disappointing. I found 2 different records on the Shadow record label. I mean, you guys aren't going to know the Shadow record label, but this is a record label out of Paducah, Kentucky back in the 70s and 80s. So I got 2 different singles by Gary Jones and the Joe Stanley Band. So this one's called Shot Down by Love from 1983. And then the other one is going to be If for Only One Night from 1984. And these are like median, like $25 records on Discogs for some reason. I mean, I've listened to them. They basically sound like these guys were probably in cover bands, because sometimes it would sound a bit 50s, sometimes it would sound a bit 70s. They were probably used to covering stuff from a variety of different styles. And so, but that's pretty local to me. Oket 2. So this has nothing to do with the famous Oket Records, but apparently this was a short-lived country music label based in Atlanta. Light My Fuse by Lisa Baldwin. This is another thing not on Discogs. It's actually kind of cool. There was some boogie-ish piano, so it wasn't like straight country, totally straight country. I mean, she has a pretty average singing voice, but that wasn't too bad. A really weird find, because this didn't fit anything else I was finding. This always makes me wonder, maybe there was a bunch more metal records there, and I got beat to them. But we've got a Grim Reaper promo single. Look at the little ebony and the pentagram there. Ooh, scary. So Grim Reaper is kind of like a cheesy metal band from the 80s. The Show Must Go On is kind of... It's a bit ballady, so it's not the greatest metal song ever. We've got this group called Zaka Creek with their song War Paint from 1989. So this is like somebody wanted like a countrified version of Mr. Mister, so not so great. These next 2 things are on this minor GBS Records label. So again, countryish music. Bobby Lace from 1985 with All Day Singing. And then this one came in a picture sleeve. Wayne Nick sings a song called Rosemarie. And there's Wayne. You can see Wayne's got a bolo tie on. I think this is from the late 80s. You had to wear a bolo tie. Now, this is from 1989. So you had to wear a bolo tie then. Again, it's a promo as well. These are stuff that you basically aren't on Discogs. There was something on this label by another artist that I don't have on Discogs. Somebody's attempting to sell for $700, although there's no record of this ever selling, and I think this is some completely fictional thing that somebody came up with. Here's Wayne Massey. Wayne Massey portrayed Johnny Drummond on the smash ABC soap opera One Life to Live, and he had a single that came out in 1982. And if you're wondering, oh, is this guy like the next Rick Springfield? Well, no, this song pretty much sucks, so no, he isn't. And then we've got a couple of foreign oddities here. So we have Nikki Via Tram. And so this is in Deutsch. So somebody paid $4.95 Deutschmarks for this back in 1990. Listed on Discogs as Schlager. And you got the dance mix on one side and I guess the regular mix on the other side. And it basically sounds like typical synth pop with a female singer from the late 80s, early 90s. This one just happens to have a German singer. And then this one I bought because of the label. And so it's RCA, but it's RCA Australia. So look at that outline of Australia. And somebody named Digger Revell, who I wasn't familiar with, but apparently is somebody that had been a star in Australia since like the mid-60s. If Ben Rankins happens to watch this, can you tell me about Digger Revell? This song I thought was kind of lame, to be honest with you. Maybe I could send this record back to Australia and you guys can send me something a little bit cooler than that. This dude, well, for $1 I had to buy this picture sleeve. Hamilton. Roger Hamilton remembers Elvis. So, something that came out on the Mossrite records. So, on one song, he's doing a Gordon Lightfoot cover, Early Morning Rain. On the other side was his own song, Mama Keep Praying For Me, a tribute to Elvis. And so, he basically sounds like an Elvis impersonator. And of course, an Elvis impersonator singing a Gordon Lightfoot song is kind of funny. The last few things are all picture sleeves of well-known people with annoying stickers on them. So here's a Loretta Lynn song from the mid-1980s. Heart Don't Do This To Me. I mean, this isn't the best Loretta Lynn, but $1. Now, somebody who I really do like is Lone Justice. It says it's Sweet, Sweet Baby, I'm Fallen, but this is actually weird in that it's the flip side song, Don't Toss Us Away. But Don't Toss Us Away is the promo on both sides. So, we've got an Alison Moyet song. Love Resurrection. And then I found 3 different Eurythmics singles. So this one's Sex Crime 1984 in a picture sleeve. And then the last 2 are not in picture sleeves, but they are promos. We've got Love is a Stranger, incorrectly in a Warner Brothers sleeve. And Who's That Girl, short version and long version, in the correct RCA sleeve. And so there's a lot of stuff that I found in terms of singles over the last several weeks. Not pay more than $1 for anything that I showed today.